Part of me is really excited for SmackDown moving to 3 hours next week, but the other part of me, well, it kind of has some concerns. I'm Ben Allison, and I've analysed last night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, and here are my 5 key findings. In at number 5, I'm starting to fear that Tiffany Stratton is going to fail her cash-in. While it's been fairly obvious in the past that she's attempted to cash in a little bit, or considered it at least, on Nia Jax, last night her openly admitting it completely shocked me. Like, usually this big twist doesn't actually happen until the cash-in happens, so the fact that it's happened before the cash-in, it's making me think there must be another twist. So what I think is going to happen is this. I think Nia Jax is going to defend her championship against somebody in the next month or two, and then at that point, Tiffy will cash in during the match to make it a triple threat match. It will cost Nia Jax the title, but it will also mean Tiffy will fail as well. I reckon whoever is facing Nia Jax will be the one to win the triple threat match. That way, WWE protect Nia Jax, but also, which I'm guessing is their aim here, will have their first failed women's cash-in attempt. I don't know how I feel about it. Most of me doesn't like it, but at this point, I think that is the direction they're going in. In at number 4, Pretty Deadly should benefit from SmackDown going to 3 hours. Pretty Deadly make the most of every single second they have on WWE television, but they are still highly underutilized and massively underrated by fans. I think people are quick to forget how great they were in NXT and NXT UK because they were putting on banger after banger there. And now they've just been put back to backstage segments. And don't get me wrong, they are great at those, but they deserve so much better in addition to them. So now that SmackDown is moving to 3 hours, I am hoping that they will finally get the opportunities which, in my opinion, they do deserve. In at number 3, too many wrestling attires are looking too similar. One of the first things which really got me into professional wrestling when I was a kid was seeing all the different attires, how each outfit told a story. It communicated whether or not the wrestler was a good guy or a bad guy just based off what they are wearing without saying a word. But recently, a few followers have written into me complaining about the fact that so many attires in WWE, AEW, pretty much all the wrestling promotions are looking so similar nowadays. And honestly, it's true. But last night's match between Sami Zayn and Carmelo Hayes, well, it really did highlight it, didn't it? Both guys looked so similar, they could have been in a tag team. They were both wearing black tights with the same, really similar white writing on them. I mean, you could not tell if you were a first-time viewer who was the good guy and who was the bad guy based off their attires, which traditionally has always been the case. Or at least in most cases. But in 2025, I really am hoping wrestlers put more thought into their attires once again. Because now it kind of feels like a lot of wrestlers are just wearing certain things because they look cool. And while they do look cool, you should focus more on it making sense for your character and having a good meaning behind it. Because if you do that, well, it will just work a lot better than if you had a random attire which looked cool. Before we go any further, if you could like and subscribe, I would massively appreciate it. Here at Wrestling Republic, we create between 5 to 10 free videos every single week, and in addition to that, we also have a live daily stream every single day, 8 PM UK, 3 PM Eastern, 12 PM Pacific. We hope to see you guys there. Thank you for watching. In at number 2, Kevin Owens' Royal Rumble tradition continues. Every year, this man figures out how to get himself into a championship match at the Royal Rumble, and you guessed it, it's happened once again. He will be challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship in a ladder match. And every time I see Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn announced for a ladder match, I get excited because their ladder wars back in Ring of Honor truly do hold a special place in my heart. And this story between Cody and Kevin, it's been so great. And this ladder match, well, it's got all the ingredients for a recipe for success. And I know some fans aren't happy that Cody Rhodes has returned so quickly after being taken out in an ambulance after being pile driven onto his head. And I do understand that, I do. But at the same time, he was on WWE's Holiday Live Event Tour, and that was on the WWE social media accounts and stuff, or photos from it was. So him kind of just not showing up on SmackDown but then being at live events, well, it wouldn't really make much sense, would it? Personally, and this is very 80s, I would have had Cody Rhodes wearing a neck brace wrestling this past weekend, and then Kate coming out on SmackDown with a neck brace once again, doing the storyline, being, well, he's cleared to wrestle with a neck brace but not without it, but is he at 100%? Kevin Owens trying to go after his neck. I think it would be very, very good, and I think that's what they probably should have done, in my opinion. And in at number 1, is SmackDown going 3 hours really a good idea for WWE? Especially the exact same time that Raw is about to return to 3 hours as well. Don't get me wrong, for hardcore fans such as myself, this is a late Christmas present. I am hyped, and there are plenty of other positives too, such as more opportunities for wrestlers, and from a business perspective for WWE, there are more advertisement opportunities in a 3-hour show compared to a 2-hour one. But, and it is a big but, WWE is about to move to Netflix, and in the US it's just Raw, but the rest of the world it's Raw and SmackDown, so it will mean that more people will be watching than ever before, or at least will have the opportunity to watch than ever before. And asking them to give up 4 hours of their time a week is hard enough, but 6 hours, that's a big ask. It might put a lot of people off clicking that click play button over on Netflix, and that, I don't think it's a good risk for WWE. I truthfully think WWE have just chosen the wrong time to do this. I'd have had Raw return to 3 hours now, then maybe in 6 months' time, tried moving SmackDown to 3 hours, but right now, I think it's too much, too quick. But overall, I did really enjoy last night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. I did think it was a fun show, and I'm excited to watch it next week, the 3-hour one next week. But what did you guys think of the show? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you tomorrow for a review of World's End. See you guys then. Peace.